So it is New Year's Day, and last night, I don't know where it popped up on my phone somewhere, but it was about food you're supposed to eat for the new year. And I was like, what? Foods for the new year? What is that? So I did some Googling, sure so crazy, and I found a list of stuff that you're supposed to eat for the new year for various reasons. So I thought today we would record them. We try to use as many as we can and start our year off with all of the lucks that these are supposed to bring. So, first thing is pork. It's from the German, I'm going to read in my paper, and Eastern European. That's where it originated from. And it's because pigs bury their snout and go in that direction. So it's supposed to be like moving forward. And okay, cool. We'll do some pork. Cabbage. This is from Germany and Eastern European cultures. And it's because when they start making sauerkraut, it's usually ready by the new year. And sauerkraut and coleslaw represents long life. And cabbage can equal, cabbage can represent money. Greens. This is from the South, and that's because green is money. Lentils are supposed to promote prosperity because they look like little coins. Noodles, which is from China, Japan, Asian countries, and that's because the length is supposed to represent longevity. Pomegranates, but I didn't write that down, and then when I just asked Alexa, she said fertility, and we're not trying to have any fertility, but I already prepped something, so shoot. Don't work that one. And then two things we're not going to do is fish, which is from Scandinavian cultures, and that's supposed to bring good fortune. And I tried to think of all the ways I could eat fish, and I didn't want to. I don't like it. I don't like the taste. I don't like the texture. I don't like the color. I don't like the smell. So I said, no, we're starting off right with a bang, not eating something we don't like. And then the one we're not going to do either is black-eyed peas, because there's two reasons why you're supposed to do this for the new year. So the first reason, which I didn't really understand why this is a reason, but it's because the Union soldiers stole the Confederate Army's food and left them with only black-eyed peas. So I was like, okay, I don't really know. I guess that was a funny joke at the time, but I'm not really sure what that's going to do for my year. And then the second one was for the black-eyed peas. It's from Egypt, and black-eyed peas were something that everybody could afford. So basically, the really wealthy people would eat black-eyed peas that day as a way to show humility to the gods. Well, I don't really want to promote eating poor food to show that you're humble. Like, let's just be humble and eat peas or not eat peas. So we're not doing those two. And now I'm rethinking the pomegranate situation because 2 under 2. But, so that's it. So we had breakfast this morning. I did some called crack sliders. So it's basically the Hawaiian rolls, and then you put like bacon and egg and cheese, but you brush it with the ranch butter to make it that crack thing that's going to crack chicken. I've never made it, but that. So first for lunch, let's go to the corner. Okay, so I thought what we would do for lunch is we're going to do a pork belly ramen. I also forgot to mention that I'm only using what I have in my house. I'm not going to go to the store for my fun day of cooking. He's dealing with babies, and he must have sat one down to pick up another one, because that sounds like a hey, why'd you put me down cry. Anyways, I don't have pork belly, but pork belly is essentially bacon, right? Bacon is made from pork belly. So in my pan, I just threw it on. I folded the bacons really thick. We're going to see how this works and see if we can get like a thick piece of bacon. And then in this here, I just have water, and I have some chicken stock, a little bit of like chicken bouillon powder, and some seasonings, and we might add more depending. And then I thought we could top it with fresh cabbage, and we'll throw some leeks in there for greens. I'm going to use the noodles that we got at Community Day, and let's make this and see. So as soon as I get this boiling, I'll throw in, I have, just for veggies in it, I have some carrots and some broccoli. And I have leeks already cut up. And as soon as we get those in there, then I will add, as soon as we get these things cooking, I'll start chopping up the cabbage and the stuff to go on top. I also have 2 soft boiled eggs in an ice bath. So there we go. I guess I could have done this live. Oh, I can't do it live. It's if I do dinner. I'm thinking of doing dinner. I'm thinking of doing tacos, like a lentil taco, but I want it more like a chicken, not a beef. But I thought to go on top, this might not work. But I'm gonna make like a coleslaw / pickled cabbage type thing with pomegranates. That's what's in there, and why the water or the apple cider vinegar is turning. So in here I just have some apple cider vinegar and some sugar, a little bit of salt, and then cabbage and fresh pomegranate. There we go. I think the reason why I say I have ADHD so much is because before it was like normal to have mental health issues. Moments like that, people would be like, what's wrong with you? Like, what? Or they'd be like, why is that girl so hyper? Why does she do this? What? So it's like a part of my life. One second. Sherman, please go lay down. Please go. It's like part of my normal to say like, oh, this is why I'm like that. And it's silly. But that was just an ADHD moment. I totally forgot what I was saying. Okay, the bacon didn't work. I had to open it. It was almost there, but I'm not trying to eat raw bacon. And then I opened the noodles and they kind of had an oily texture, so I rinsed them. And this bowl is gigantic. And that is way too many noodles for lunch. So I'm going to save part of these for, maybe I'll do something with them for dinner. Or just make a stir fry later. So I'm going to take some of those out. And then I'm just going to put my noodles in my water with my seasonings and my veggies. And then I did add in the broth gochujang. I think we need to add a little bit more water back because it was boiling a little longer than I planned, because I used my egg maker to make soft-boiled eggs, but the lines where you measure the water came off since the last time I used it. And I usually just put them in the water, the ramen, while it's boiling, and then I take them out. So my eggs are like very sad excuses for eggs. So the water boiled a little bit longer while I was fixing that problem. Okay, I just looked up what the official difference between pork belly and bacon is, and it's curing and smoking. So it's going to be a little bit saltier. It's going to be a little bit different, but again, it's what we have. So let me taste this broth. I threw the noodles in. They're cooked. That's a good broth. I don't want to add any salt or anything because of this bacon. I moved the camera down a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Now I'm just going to put some broth and some of those small veggies. This is a lot bigger of a portion than I planned. And this is the best angle of me, possibly. I was trying to adjust my beautiful angle and then my camera fell off. So we're just putting this in there. Okay. This made a lot more than I thought. So let's add back in our egg, our pathetic eggs. Okay. And then we're going to add in our toppings. So some cabbage. Some fresh cilantro. And I love like all the cilantro. So I always put more than probably the normal person. Some green onion. I had the bacon sitting on a paper towel to get that some of the extra oil off. And I'm going to put a little bit of this. We had a treat night and went to the taco truck and got burritos. And this is pickled red onion and some kind of spicy pepper. It is the hottest thing, but it is so good. So I'm going to put a little bit of that. I have some of it bigger, and then I cut the peppers up a little bit smaller, so it wasn't just a bite full of pepper. It's hard to see. My camera's right in front of me. And then we're going to do our weird bacon. Let's see. Whoop. Okay. Let me get out of the shadow. So that's what it looks like so far. We're going to sprinkle a little sesame oil on the top. Just a little drizzle. Sorry, I'm standing in like the worst place possible. And then sprinkle some fried garlic on the top. And there is the first meal I made using ingredients off of the things you're supposed to eat to have good health and prosperity for the year. Come back for dinner. So I had this whole plan that I was gonna like make these tacos, and then I had children who did not want to take naps and who are grumpy. So that means we don't have a camera on because we have grumpy kids. But I decided to go with, for this, what we're gonna eat for the New Year thing. We're gonna do a lentil taco. So we're gonna have a lentil taco with a pickled cabbage and pomegranate topping. The little girls, I'm gonna make them a little flauta in the type thing in the oven. So they just have their cheese. Ah, I dropped my spoon. I'm trying to get it kind of in the picture, but it's very hard. So I just chopped up a bunch of cilantro and tomatoes over here. For toppings. And then in theirs I have just a little bit of cheese. Totally cannot see this at all. A little bit of cheese, and then I, in the food processor, blended up lentils and a little bit more of a mush. I just put some lentils that I had in the food processor in a tortilla. We're gonna roll these for them and put them in the oven for a few minutes. I covered the, see, I'm still not in there. I've tried 20 times. I covered the tortillas in a little bit of olive oil. We're just doing, well, it's a little more cheese than I used on the last one, but I don't want to save like crumbs in the bag. It's like this much that I need it to move. So we have cheese. And this mixture. And I just flavored it with carne asada flavoring, the lentils. But I didn't think that they could really eat a taco, especially the baby. Just roll these up. Use a little of my lentils for my paste to close it. And my oven's set at 350. I'm going to warm up my tortillas and these. The verdict came back on blending everybody's lentils. I blend the baby's lentils too because she eats them, but then they don't digest, so I like to blend them up. But as soon as these tortillas are warm, we're gonna assemble these tacos. I made some Spanish rice too, and I'll show you. Well, I guess while we wait, I'll show you. I made an avocado, lime, cilantro kind of cream, but it's sour cream and yogurt. And then, she's very grumpy. We have the cabbage and pomegranates. It's actually really good because the tartness from the vinegar with the pomegranates is a nice little surprise. And then I was gonna put cojita cheese on it. This cheese, it's a Mexican cheese and it's very crumbly and a little goes a long way and it smells horrible. And I was introduced to it when I was married the first time. And the first time he showed it to me, I told him that smells like someone's old chonies. So I call it choni cheese. So if I ever say that, it's because it's really stinky. It was really good. And you only need just a little bit. So, choni cheese. And I found this and I picked this up and it was really good in the rice. It's just that Fiesta brand extra fancy Spanish rice seasoning. I thought that this would not take as long in the lentils, so I started the rice and I shouldn't have started the rice. I feel like I'm gonna like looking at airplanes filming it. So I've mentioned before we do baby-led weaning. And I bought this little rice ball maker so it's easier for her to pick up the rice. You just put rice in it and you shake it. I dropped my phone in my intense rice shaking. But isn't that cute? It just makes these little balls. And then she can pick them up. Let's make one of these together and taste it. So we have just a corn tortilla. With our lentils in it. I really wish that I could record this, like of me doing it. So we have that, and then we're going to put a little bit of this. Do we want more in these? More things? I'm going to put some tomato. A little cilantro. This cream. A little bit of cheese. I'm telling you, a little bit goes a long way. One of those blocks winds up lasting me forever. I'm too short and he's too tall. No, there. He said that's amazing. Let me try it. Oh my gosh, that's so good. The pomegranate. Hold on, let me finish with. So, the first, actually, he's talking about this place called Taqueria 27, and we met at Starbucks and got a drink, and then, hold on. So we met at Starbucks, got a drink, and walked across the street to the park. Sorry, will you put those in that air fryer? You can just throw them in that container. And then I was like, I'm hungry. So we went to this place called Taqueria 27, and they make a guacamole with strawberries in it. And we were like, that's weird. It's so good. But this kind of has that fill because the tomatoes add like moisture to the lentils that are a little bit drier when they're kind of blended. And then the cabbage and the pomegranate are like this tangy sweetness. I'm impressed with myself. Good job. You did it. So this was just for fun. Obviously, like, we're not saying like if we don't do this, we're not gonna have good luck. I think we're pretty lucky here. And it was just a way to do something fun today with eating and see how much of these New Year foods that we could get in today. And I think we did a pretty good job. We did a lot of them. Everything was so good. She needs to eat. So we'll see you next time. Good night.